One of the worst things that can ever happen to a team is losing their starting goalie weeks before the playoffs. And the Penguins just lost Tristan Jarry, who's week to week with a lower body injury. And it's been reported that the lower body injury is actually a broken bone in his foot, which makes things so much worse. I mean, this absolutely sucks because, first of all, who wants to lose their starting goalie? Nobody. But also the fact that Tristan Jarry is having a great season. And, the whole theme of the year for Tristan Jarry was that bounce back due to last year's playoffs. I'm going to assume that everyone here is Penguins fans, so I'm not going to remind everybody what happened last year, but Tristan Jarry wasn't the greatest. So, everybody wanted him out. There was, a lot of controversy surrounding his name. He silenced everybody this entire season. But I think I could speak for everybody when I say that the real test was the playoffs. We wanted to see Tristan Jarry bounce back this upcoming playoffs. And he still can. He's not ruled out yet. There's still a few weeks, but it just sucks that it happens right now, right as we enter that final stretch of the season. This just sucks so much because even if he's ready for game one, what are the odds he's 100% ready? Maybe he's 80%, which is good, but might just be the difference between a first round win and a first round exit because, goaltending is everything. And we're going to need Tristan Jarry to be at his best every single game in the playoffs if they want to have a chance versus either Carolina, New York, Florida, whoever they get in the first round. And this is very similar to last year. Both Jarry and DeSmith out to end the regular season. Thankfully, Jarry was ready for game one, but was he at his 100%? I'll always question it because we saw what happened last year's playoffs. Jarry wasn't the greatest. Maybe he wasn't at his 100%, right? That explains a lot. What if we get that same Jarry this year in the playoffs because he won't be at his 100%? Just so much questions going in my head. Again, I don't want to overreact because these things are day to day. When it comes to the playoffs, I know he's listed as week to week officially for Mike Sullivan, but I'm just saying, when playoffs approach, everything is just game by game, day to day. There's so many scenarios that can happen. Let's say the Penguins start game one with a Casey DeSmith and they win. All of a sudden you have breathing room, you feel comfortable letting Jarry sit until a game 3 or a game 4, knowing you won't be down 2-0 or 3-0 if you do win that game 1. Let's say you lose the game 1, lose the game 2, Jarry isn't fully ready. Do you put him in for the game 3, right? So many things can happen, but obviously I don't want to start bringing up hypotheticals now. We're not even in the playoffs yet. We don't even know who we're going to play yet. But I do want to talk about the guy who's going to be the starter for right now until Jarry's back, and that is Casey DeSmith. Do I have faith in this guy if he is the starting goalie for game 1? I'm going to say yes and no, a little bit of both, 50-50, because I do have faith in Casey DeSmith. I think he may surprise some people, but at the same time, it's Casey DeSmith who's been a bit inconsistent this year. Bad start. He's been good recently, but again, right, it just so many things go through my head. And at the end of the day, I'd obviously be more comfortable with Tristan Jarry in the net. But I don't think the Penguins are screwed if Casey DeSmith does get the start in game 1. And there's so many ifs with these type of things, right? Let's say Tristan Jarry is not ready to go. Casey DeSmith gets the start for game 1. What if all of a sudden we get this great defensive Pittsburgh Penguins team, obviously knowing that their starting goalie isn't in the net. So they're just giving their 110% to make sure DeSmith has a good shot at winning the game, right? Teams play differently with who's in the net. And if that's the case, I think with a good defense in front of him, Casey DeSmith is good enough to win a game in the playoffs, or 2 if they need it. But if we get the Penguins who showed up in front of Tristan Jarry the last few games before he got injured, you might as well not even show up for the playoffs, right? The Penguins will get destroyed each game 5-1. Do I think the Penguins can win a series with Casey DeSmith in the whole time? Let's say Jarry's not ready at all in the first round. It's going to be tough, but yes, I do think it all depends on the team in front of him. Let's just say it's the Rangers, right? I think Casey DeSmith has the capability of stealing one game, the one where he gets 35 shots and he squeezes out a 2-1 win. I think Casey DeSmith does have the potential, but I also do think he has the potential to allow 4 goals on 28 shots. So it's going to be one of those series if DeSmith is in. It also depends on the Penguins' offense. If we're going to get the offense we got the last few playoff runs, DeSmith can actually play pretty good and we might lose the series. But this can also be a blessing in disguise if the injury isn't too bad. If Jarry's ready to go for game 1, this is not a bad thing at all because it's no secret that he's been playing a lot this year. And right before he got injured, you could tell Tristan Jarry was a bit fatigued. He wasn't his usual self. He just needed that break because, it's a lot of hockey he was playing. So let's say he is ready to go for game 1. This is not the worst thing because he's going to get a 2 full week vacation essentially of no games, just relaxing. And I think Casey DeSmith is more than capable of helping the Penguins win, and it's not like they need to win. They've clinched already. I mean, of course, divisional, you don't want to end up going in the wild card and playing the Panthers in the first round, which is why I do think Casey DeSmith is capable of winning enough to keep that third spot in the division, over the Capitals. I don't think the Penguins are going to lose every single game going forward. If they do lose every single game going forward, I don't think it's going to be DeSmith's fault. I'm going to say it's going to be the team who's not playing good in front of him. In my opinion, you don't bring back Tristan Jarry unless he's 90% or up, because even 75% of Tristan Jarry may hurt you, that's not 100%, and you need goaltending, right? And I'd rather take 100% of Casey DeSmith rather a 75% of Tristan Jarry, because that 25% missing might just be the difference maker between losing in the first round and going past the first round. And I know it's a difference because you want Jarry in the net, but I don't think DeSmith hurts you in the net if he's at his 100%. This is what the playoffs are for, right? Stories happen. You never know. Maybe Jarry's not ready and DeSmith goes off and he just carries this team, right? You never know. I do want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. Would you play Tristan Jarry even if he's not 100% for game one? And if you wouldn't, are you confident in Casey DeSmith getting the net for game one? Definitely going to be fun and interesting, right? Playoff hockey, best time of year. And I'm going to try my best to be more active here on YouTube, make as many videos as I can, right? Because this is the best time of year. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.